Hey guys, Thad Shoemaker Guitar Works. So we're back here with the Ovation for part 2. First thing I've got to do is these holes for the screws need to be drilled all the way through. So go ahead and drill those. Make sure that they're in exactly the right spot, and they are. One thing I cannot stress enough when you re-glue a rosewood bridge, whether it's a new bridge or you're re-gluing an old bridge, you need to take a pick, and I've already done it with this, but you need to put some scratches and scrapes in here so the glue, no matter what it is, has some tooth to grab onto. I've already went ahead and did it up here. You also need to take some acetone and take that bridge and clean it off. See all that? That is, for one, it's wood dust from when it was manufactured. For two, the rosewood is a naturally oily wood. I'm actually going to go across here a little bit too, where I've done it. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up this equal part epoxy here. And then I'm just going to use my pick here. I'm going to mix this. And you want to mix it till there's no clear left and it's all the right color and the right consistency. Use that same acetone rag and wipe my pick off. So I'm going to take this here glue brush, mix it up just a little more. And in here where it's really, where it took quite a bit of the wood away, where it wasn't so clean, or wasn't such a clean break, I really want to fill that in. Because I want a good bond here. And this same procedure is with any bridge, really. No matter what glue you're using, you want to make sure that you clean that bridge off real well. You want to make sure you score the bridge so the glue has some tooth. Also, Yes, this has a mechanical connection with the two little screws that will go in it, but you need, with this, there's not really a good way of clamping it. So you do need to have something to hold that bridge down, especially on the edges, because you want to make sure that that glue sets and goes in like it's supposed to. Get these screwed in here. Hey guys, Dad Shoemaker, Shoemaker Guitar Works. How's it going? So I'm back with the Ovation. This is 24 hours later after I've glued the bridge back on. So I put this 10-pound weight on it to hold it down, because the only connection really is besides the glue is the two screws that go right here. So now I've got a clean bond to my bridge. I've got a couple little spots up here that I'm going to use some thick CA glue just to fill in because of little finish chips along the edge. This one I've already glued back down, so there's nothing I can do about that. You know, stuff like that happens when you do bridges. Unfortunately, this one had been done before at some point, and you know, just wasn't done with the right glue. So you know, epoxy is a good fix for putting these back on. I don't like using epoxy because it's hard to reverse if anything happens. So if this bridge breaks again, this guitar is pretty much done. But if I don't foresee that happening. So anyway, what I'm going to do today is kind of show you what I'm going to do here to fill in these little finish chips here along the edge. And it's not going to be perfect, but it looks better than some of the options that you could do. I mean, I could leave it like this and it wouldn't really hurt anything, but I don't want to do that. So I believe this is the grit that I want here, and I'm just going to go right here just a little bit along the edge, and that'll just make those little chips stand out a little more so I can see what I'm going to do. And when this is all said and done, when this is all dry, any mess that I make, I can clean up with this debonder, and it will take any of the excess away that I don't want, but it won't affect the glue job. So that's kind of why I do this. So I'm going to use actually a combination of a couple here. This is Glue Boost Ultra Thin, and I'm going to use that here, right here on the edge, because there is just one little spot that I don't like. And then I'll just take a rag and kind of wipe the excess that I'm not going to need. And then there's there's about 4 little spots that they're hard for you to see, I'm sure, but I can see them where the finish needs filled in. So I'm just going to take this ultra thick, actually this is just the thick 2P10. This is not the gel. Not sponsored by either of these super glue companies, but they're the kinds that I use. I also use some Stumac stuff because Stumac makes amber colored super glue, which comes in handy a lot for finish repairs. right there. I think that's just part of the crack, actually, that in the finish. So now I'll take just the corner of a shop towel and just try and dab it so it goes even and gets as level as possible. Sometimes you'll have to fill these 2 or 3 times to get the right level, and then you literally just kind of wet sand it a little bit and polish it back up. I'll use probably 2000 grit to wet sand this, and you might see a couple little bubbles, but it's better than having holes in the finish, and that's kind of how we look at it in the industry. In a perfect world, it'd be great if every bridge job that you do pops off and cleanly, and no breakage of the finish or the wood underneath. But it's not a perfect world. We all know that in these times. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned a little bit. And like I say, what I'm going to do after this all dries is just kind of wet sand that level with 1000 grit here, and then I might go over it a little bit with some 3000 just so it's easier to polish. And any of that you don't want on there, I can take that debonder to and clean that off. I'm also going to clean up the frets on this guitar and definitely clean the fretboard because it's really dirty. I already fixed the grape leaf over here. I got to put a little bit of clear on that. Probably just a little bit of boiled linseed oil to cover up where I sanded that seam a little bit. But other than that, it's about ready for strings. So you'll see that in the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that like and subscribe.